Welcome back to Live at 9 in the house through Zoom. Dr. Quinn, Mississippi's favorite doctor. And Dr. Quinn, today we're talking about drinking too much water. And I know that sounds kind of funny to the people at home. Oh, aren't we trying to stay hydrated in this heat? Yes, but there is an amount that is too much. And Dr. Quinn, what is too much?
Well, basically, when there's too much water, it can be very dangerous. You can throw your electrolytes off. And when we talk about electrolytes, we're mainly talking about the sodium. If you're drinking too much water, somebody actually lost their life a couple of weeks ago, and you all talked about it on WJTV. But when the electrolytes are imbalanced because you're drinking too much water, then the sodium can be too low in your blood. And when this happens, the fluid can rush into the cells, especially in the brain, and you can develop something called cerebral edema. It can be very dangerous with a lot of symptoms, and it can take your life.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, you know, your natural thought is, oh, I'm hot, let me just drink as much water as I can. Is there a safe amount? I mean, this kind of I don't want to scare people, right? Because you got to drink a good amount of water to get to this point, correct?
Most definitely. Now, there is a rule of thumb that's being documented in the research. And the rule of thumb is you want to drink about half of your weight in pounds in ounces. So what I did was I got a simple bottle of water, and I looked up the fact that it's 16 ounces. Now, I weigh roughly 200 pounds. So if you look at 200 pounds, half of that is 100 ounces. So 16 ounces of water in one standard bottle. If you look at how many would it take to get to 100 ounces, we're looking at 6 bottles a day. So if you're someone that works outdoors, say you're working on a construction site, you probably need more than 6 because you're going to be losing a lot of fluid during the day because of the sun in your body cooling down with the sweating and the evaporation from your skin. So if you're somebody that works indoors, maybe 6 bottles a day if you weigh around 200 pounds. But if you weigh more, then you would drink a little bit more. But typically, half of your weight as far as pounds and ounces. So, you know, there you go. So you want to look for those symptoms. So some of the symptoms to look for if you're drinking too much water is you can start developing headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, confusion. Some people even can go into seizures. You can go into a coma, and you can lose your life. So this is something that's really important, and I'm so happy we had an opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, so what it really sounds like is the same symptoms that you might have when you're not drinking enough water are some of the similar symptoms that you're going to have if you have too much.
That's very true. That's why it's so good that we are able to educate the community. So the take home, if you're starting to have symptoms, say for instance, you're getting dizzy, you're getting confused, you're getting these headaches, you know, get out of the heat and pay attention to your body. If it doesn't get any better, go ahead and get evaluated by a medical provider for safety, just to make sure that you're safe. Because at the end of the day, you could lose your life if you're drinking too much water or not enough water and you're suffering a heat injury.
Yeah, of course. I mean, our job is not to scare you, but to give some information about this. You know, you talk about this idea that you want to drink about half your weight in ounces. And if you work outside, let's say a kid's having a football practice in 95-degree heat this summer, right? Because they're doing their summer workouts. What is kind of like around the goal of them? Is it a couple extra bottles of water? Or, I mean, do you know how much we're talking about?
Right. You just have to listen to your body. So at the end of the day, if you're drinking the 6 bottles of water and you're outside, outdoors, and you're sweating a lot, then you would typically drink a little bit more. But listen to your body and remove yourself from the heat. If you don't get better, let's say in just a number of minutes, or you want to, you know, if you don't get better very quickly, go ahead and get evaluated. The take home is don't hesitate to go visit a medical provider in an emergency room or contact your medical doctor and let them know what's going on, because it could be something that could be treated early. But at the end of the day, you have to look out for your life and don't hesitate to be evaluated.